Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
All righty, here we go. We kick off an extended Memorial Day weekend of sports coverage. A lot going on, a lot of different sports overlapping. This is a good time of year, even though we're still about 3 months away from football season. It is right around the corner, and this will help us if we can bridge Memorial Day weekend. We'll get to 4th of July, and then it's game on. Hi, everybody. Terry Norvelle on a beautiful Friday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. Maybe you are off today trying to extend the extended weekend. A lot going on. This will be our final show for this Memorial Day weekend. We'll take Monday off, which a lot of people will, and then we'll be back at it on Tuesday. But a lot to cover. We hope to hear from Patrick Young. Not sure about Patrick's schedule today. But hopefully Pat can check in and kick around some topics with us. Brent Beaird about 5 o'clock. We've got a lot of stuff, including, finally, the College Football Playoff Committee just does something, you know what, with common sense. Just a little common sense gets mixed in. We've got a ton of college baseball conference tournament results and games and things to talk about, issues around that. We've got college softball super regionals. One game near and dear to our heart is completed. Florida State, I'll tell you this, fighting for their lives right now in Game 2 against Texas Tech over in Tallahassee. We'll track that. We also will track women's lacrosse. The Florida Gator lacrosse team in the Final Four. But, oh, boy, look out. They've run into number 1 seed North Carolina. The Gators, and we'll track this game as we go today as well. The Gators in lacrosse jumped up in the first period. They led 4-2, but boy, North Carolina has stormed back. They're up like 8-4 now. They've gone 6 straight. I do believe they play 4 periods in lacrosse. I'm not the biggest lacrosse fan. We'll track that as we go. Major League Baseball, it is starting to get really fun in baseball. We're at the 50-game mark or so. A lot of storylines, a lot of Braves storylines we'll get into as we go. NBA playoffs tonight, almost a must-win. Wouldn't you almost say tonight for the Knicks is a must-win? I know they're down 1-0, but the way that game played out the other night that Indiana won, it almost feels like they're down 2-0. So we'll talk some NBA playoff action as we cruise this state in sports history. And we may even get back to the Matt Driscoll topic with Casey Kurtz. We may have some sound from Matt Driscoll, who had his goodbye press conference. Going to miss Matt, one of the great basketball ambassadors in our area. Matt Driscoll, former UNF coach, taking an assistant job. A big step up for Matt Driscoll, assistant job at Kansas State. With that, let me say hi to our producer extraordinaire, Casey Kurtz. Mr. Kurtz.
Hello there.
How we doing?
Tired.
What's going on?
Just tired.
Run a marathon or just tired? Just life tired.
Just life.
Life will get you.
I mean, one thing that gets me tired is I was running on the Brent Martineau schedule for like 4 years in radio.
Yeah.
And then I got off the Brent Martineau schedule, and now I'm back on it, and it's just tiring.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Come on, Brent. Come on, Brent.
This guy drinks 8 cups of coffee a day. I'm just not built for it.
Yeah, and he's go. Yeah, he's that guy. He's go guy, right?
Yeah, I'm just not built for it. So.
Can the extended holiday weekend help, or do you have life things on the other end that are going to?
I don't know. We got work tomorrow. We got a Jacksonville Armada game to produce right here on the network.
Oh, that's right.
We'll be doing that, and then Sharks are away, so we don't have to produce the Sharks this weekend.
Don't mess with that, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow at 3, the Jacksonville Armada, the women's team, will be on the network, and I'll be producing that one.
Yeah, no, that's been going pretty good. I know it's kind of a work in progress, but man, people don't know how much goes on. Oh, just fire up a couple cameras, point them toward the field, and whatever sport, let it go. And a lot more to that, right?
If only it were that easy.
Yes, if only. Who's on the call? Do you know?
That'll be Stuart Weber.
Stuart will be on the call. And you said 1 or 2 games?
It's just one. It's just the women. It's the first home women's game of the season. We've had 2 of the men's games. They are on the road. The women are home.
Okay.
So you can see it on the network, or you can go out to Edward Waters University.
I like it. I like it. Now, is this the same team that is building a stadium?
So not probably the one you're thinking of.
Okay,
that would be the whatever their technical name is, Jacksonville. I forget their actual name, but the Armada will build a stadium, but not the same. Two different things.
Okay, two totally different things. But yeah, good programming. And what time is that game time?
3.
Oh, right in the middle of the day.
Right in the middle of the day.
So
it's going to be a warm one out there. I'm glad to be sitting next to Marcel here in the studio.
Yeah, no doubt. But that 3 o'clock, strategically placed, so you can't really do a whole lot of Casey stuff going into 3.
Correct.
And then really after the game and wrap up and everything, you can't really do any Casey stuff after the game.
No, yeah, the 3 is not the world's best time. The last couple weeks has been 7. So there's plenty of time for Casey before 7, but there's not a lot of time before or after. So
any idea why we went with the 3 o'clock kickoff here?
I do not. I do not know. It certainly was not to stay out of the heat. So maybe I'll file a formal complaint and see what we can do about next week.
Oh, but you are at least indoors at Control Central.
Oh yeah, listen.
Central, yeah.
Our camera folks. I think we're gonna have 3 of them.
Oh,
good luck. Me and Marcel will be looking at you in the air-conditioned Studio B, and you guys can handle that from afar.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about a smooth 95 tomorrow. I think.
Yeah, that's tough.
A smooth 95. All right, we got a lot of stuff, Casey. A lot going on, man. This is I love when buddies walk up to me over the year. Hey, man, what are y'all doing in the down season? Nothing going on. What? Are you kidding me? All right, I don't know where to start. We got to dive in. College baseball conference tournament action. College softball super regionals. Major League Baseball is so much fun now. You know, I came back to Major. Casey, you may not have known, and I don't think the whole world ever knew.
Okay.
I broke up with baseball.
Really?
I literally, I divorced Major League Baseball. It might have been 10 years ago. And being a little bit serious, tongue-in-cheek, but serious here. I'm what you'll call a traditionalist, particularly when it comes to baseball. Sure. I like strategy. I like a manager being part of a game. I like gosh darn, it's the 6th inning. Our guy's throwing well, but not many runs on the board. He hits, by the way. Do we pull him here? Do we not? I'm that guy. The game of baseball, probably 10, 15 years ago, particularly at the major league level, turned into almost throw it 100 miles an hour, and if you hit it, it's got to go 450 feet, or you may as well make it out. It just turned in. I didn't like where baseball went.
Okay.
Strategically,
I understand that.
It's come back a little bit, but I love the game. So no, I've come back to the game the last 3 or 4 years probably, and it's a wonderful game. It is what it is. I get it. I may be. Are you like that? Where are you at on your baseball purist scale? If you kind of.
That's a good question. I mean, just to do what you did, I also got sick of baseball for a while, and for different reasons than you.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I say this, and then I will say something else that will totally take it away. I don't mind the analytics part until Kevin Cash pulled Blake Snell with a shutout in the World Series against the Dodgers. That really, really hurt.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily have a problem with the way that baseball's played right now. My problem more so came as like a 14, 15-year-old kid when people kept getting hit with foul balls, so they put up nets.
Yeah.
And like the game just went super unfan friendly. Like baseball used to be the most fan friendly, and now they don't really care if the fans are there or not.
Absolutely.
That's the part that soured me on baseball. But in terms of, replay and analytics, I don't hate it. I don't love it. But there are some like statistics things I do love. Like I love WAR. I think that's super important, and stuff like that. So I am definitely closer to okay with it than you are, but I'm not all the way there.
Where do you stand on now we have a universal DH? I like the pitchers having to be part of the game, and then the strategy really is amplified. Where do you come on? Where do you fall on that?
I will say I'm a fan of the universal DH because I am not a Yankees fan, but my dad used to work for the Yankees, so I somewhat followed the Yankees.
Oh, neat.
I don't know if you'll remember this name, but they had a dude who they signed from Japan or Chinese Taipei, I forget, Chin-Ming Wong, who was a very, very expensive guy they brought in, was very good, was running the bases in Houston when they were still an NL team, slipped on a bat in front of home plate.
Oh, my.
Out for the year and was never the same guy. And ever since then, I've been like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe the pitchers don't need to be running the bases.
Yeah. I hear you. Now, full transparency, I'm a traditionalist guy. I miss the strategy, and I want the bunt back in the game. It's long gone, and move a runner over. There was no better sign in baseball. And I played a little bit through college. I mean, I wasn't much of a player, but I played through Division I college. I loved hit and run. If I was the batter, I would hit and run every time. I loved it. It takes so full transparency. My game was small ball to a degree, manufacture ball. I was get on base, score a run, get on base. Yeah, that was what I was reared on. So I'm a little bit of old man get off my lawn guy, but I've come back to the game. The game is wonderful still, though. It's got its warts, right? I mean, Major League Baseball's got its warts and salary this and it may be too much. Throw 100, throw 100, throw 100, throw 100. Bottom spin, send the ball out of the, there may be too much of that, but it is a great game. It is a great game. Casey, I've pissed people off over the years defending the great game of baseball. And what I'm going to say, I will defend forever. Okay. I still, to this day, baseball is not America's pastime anymore. Football has passed baseball. Mm-hmm. It would be stupid to sit here and argue that baseball is still the American. It is not.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah. I will say that I have said many times over the last couple decades, I think our society is too stupid to appreciate baseball to a degree. I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I think our society, you've got to. There's a lot of intricacies in baseball still to this day, even though they've taken some of the intricacies out. Football is a simple game.
It is.
There's the ball. One team possesses it. If you can score on a play, great. If you don't, you've got 3, maybe 4 plays to get 10 yards, right? It's a simple. Now, some of the NFL rules have gotten ridiculous, but it's a pretty simple visual game, and there's not a whole lot. You know what? If all of a sudden we toss it to our running back and we're able to mow their guys down and we gain 6 and 7 yards, we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. And if we drop back and we can protect our quarterback and our guy is shiftier than your guy and he gets open, we're going to throw it to him. Baseball takes there's thought process in baseball. And I think our society got pretty too stupid for baseball. Can I say that?
You can say it. The thing that's always amazed me between baseball and football is 40 seconds in between a football play is fine.
Yeah.
It is not okay in between pitches.
I am so glad you brought that up. So glad you brought that up. Baseball's too slow as football. Tackle made by Smith. 2nd and 3. Blah, 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 blah. Let's talk. Blah, blah, blah. Teams, blah, blah, blah. Mill around. Blah, blah, blah. A couple guys run onto the field. A couple guys, blah, blah, blah. Announcers talking. Blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah.
45 seconds later, there's another play.
Yeah, it's always confused me.
That is a great point. I've always thought of that too. So glad you brought that up. Baseball, and frankly, I was a little paranoid about this clock that popped up 2 years ago. It's the best thing to happen in baseball in a long time.
It's very good.
It really, really, and it hammered home that there's a finite, 20, 25 seconds. I don't care if you're the slowest worker on the mound. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're the slowest, work on your batting gloves, your belt buckle, stretch a little bit, batter. 20, 25 seconds is plenty of time for the slowest of slow.
Yeah, Nomar Garciaparra would have been fine.
He would. That time clock in baseball really, really has worked. We'll get to some Major League Baseball. A lot going on. The Braves got a lot of stuff going on. Boy, the Braves got to get it right. I don't know if you've seen their upcoming schedule. And, we're starting to look at the All-Star game. I mean, it's not that far down the road. And you want to kind of position yourself for the second half run. Boy, the Braves' schedule, we'll get into this in a moment, but their schedule heats up right now. They are 7.5 games out as we speak. All right, let's catch some stuff up. Game completed today. College Baseball Conference Tournament. The JU Dolphins stay alive. 10 a.m. first pitch this morning in DeLand. JU, a ninth-inning run. They were the home team. They knocked out North Alabama 3-2 earlier today in a 10 a.m. pitch. JU lives to see tomorrow. That is their second win over North Alabama. They lost earlier to number 1 seed Austin Peay. So
you hate to see it.
Yeah. So here's where JU's at. Obviously, UNF got knocked out. Their season's over earlier in the tournament. JU wins today. They have one loss. They move on to the early game tomorrow. JU will play the winner of the game going on right now, Florida Gulf Coast and Central Arkansas. Last check, Gulf Coast led 7-4 about midway through the game. JU will play that winner at 10 tomorrow, Saturday morning. It's a tough haul for JU, but they're still in it. If the Dolphins win that loser's bracket final, right, they would then play another game tomorrow, a doubleheader tomorrow. They would play the loser of tonight's winner's bracket final game. That is the 2 number 1 seeds. The host, Stetson Hatters, will take on Austin Peay. Both of those teams are really good. So they will play a winner's bracket. That loser will play tomorrow afternoon the survivor of JU, Gulf Coast, or Central Arkansas. Then, if the Dolphins could win a doubleheader tomorrow, they then would play whoever's left standing Sunday for the automatic bid. It ain't easy, and it's hot out there. But, Casey, you're supposed to be punished if you lose early in a double elimination tournament.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so there is JU. I'll bring them up, the Dolphins, the Fighting Dolphins. That's an angry dolphin, in case you're wondering, because they were the early game, okay? So, right now, Florida State, there's a rumor Florida State baseball is actually taking the field.
They're out there.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Bottom of the third, FSU, their first game in the ACC. It's a weird setup, the pool play. The Seminoles, it's not like it's been rain delayed. They've been rain delayed. They just weren't scheduled. They were the number 2 team in the ACC regular season. Their first game is right now. They're playing Duke, leading 9-2. They have erupted now. Bottom of third, FSU, the home team in this game. They lead Duke 9-2. Please, Casey, don't ask me what happens after this game.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
No one, including the Atlantic Coast Conference, knows how this pool play works. But FSU baseball, 9-2 over Duke. So that's some active and completed area college baseball in the conference tournaments. Okay, so women's softball super regional action. Yesterday, last night, I got home from the show and dialed in FSU hosting Texas Tech softball super regional in Tallahassee. Texas Tech, probably the best player in the country. They're not the best team in the country, but they probably got the best two-way player candidate, the pitcher and real good hitter as well. Texas Tech really wasn't pushed. They beat FSU last night 3-0. That's a huge upset. Texas Tech, not a national seed. FSU is a national seed in softball. So Tech won yesterday 3-0. Kennedy pitched a great game and also hit a late game solo home run. So those two teams are currently playing right now. FSU's got to win 2 in a row, and they were trailing at last check game number 2. And I think Kennedy or Texas Tech is on the hill as well. Let me see if I can find.
They are losing.
Okay, what do you have?
1-0.
1-0. That's the last score I saw. FSU must win today to force tomorrow.
Bottom 4.
Bottom of 4. So and FSU in game 2, they're the visiting team. It flops back and forth.
Correct.
FSU will be running out of. They'll have 5, 6, and 7. Right? You're starting to count outs a little bit. Don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but yeah, FSU is the visiting team game 2 in Tallahassee. So the Noles need to rally to force. And that game, the third game, would not be this evening. It would be tomorrow. It would be tomorrow. Florida, earlier today, 11 a.m., first pitch, Super Regional Softball in Gainesville. Gators hosting Georgia. Florida, really all over Georgia. The Gators win with a couple of early home runs. They jump out 5-0. They cruise to a 6-1 win. Florida has beaten Georgia earlier today. Game 2 is tomorrow, also at 11 a.m. A lot of Gator fans weren't real happy that Gator softball, third seeded overall, is going 11 a.m. to be determined. But today, 11 a.m., ESPN2, I can live with that. There's a lot of softball. Casey, tomorrow, Florida softball, Florida and Georgia, they get 11 a.m. on the big network.
Ooh, how about that?
Hey, if you're women's softball and you get on the big network, ESPN1, if you will. So tomorrow, 11 a.m., Saturday morning, Florida trying to close out Georgia. If they have to, they'll play Game 3 on Sunday. TBD, time to be determined on that. So that catches you up on some of our local baseball and softball. So Florida State will probably have a final by the time we go off here. Real quick, lacrosse, women's lacrosse.
Oh boy,
they are in the Final Four. Florida is in that. They are taking on currently number 1 and dominant North Carolina. The second game in lacrosse will pit Northwestern against Boston College. Florida jumped out 4-2 on North Carolina in the first lacrosse period. It's 12-4. So North Carolina in the third now. They play 4 periods. But North Carolina flexing their muscle. The Gators in lacrosse would have to have a hell of a comeback. Did you know they play 4 periods in that?
Only because we did that. Yes, we did a lacrosse event here one time.
I remember that.
But I cannot confirm nor deny if while they were playing, right as they were starting, I looked over at Stuart Weber and said, "Is this halves or quarters?"
Yeah.
And we both were unsure until they started, running the clock.
Yeah, and I think I'm right on this. Men's college basketball is now the only, other than I guess football, which is men's college basketball is kind of blowing out there in the wind. One of the only sports that has 2 halves now.
Maybe they should change it.
They play 20 minutes, 2 halves. Even women's college basketball, like 5 years ago, went to quarters.
Yep.
Everything plays quarters except, it appears, men's college football. Huh. Interesting.
They're on
13-4. My God, somebody stop these Tar Heels. My goodness gracious. Boy, North Carolina, their women's sports program is really good. I mean, they're really good in soccer, really good in lacrosse. They've won a basketball title. That's a hell of an athletic program. As we go to break, last night, probably in the SEC baseball tournament, probably the game of the tournament last night. Man, did Texas and Tennessee put on a good game, win extra innings. Texas probably should have won it in the 10th when Tennessee threw away a pickoff. They couldn't get a run as the home team. And Tennessee knocked off Texas. Remember now, the SEC baseball tournament, one and done. So Texas, who has Casey, as an old SEC guy, traditional SEC guy, I'm not real happy the way Texas just kind of stormed their way in and said, well, it just means more to us too.
So in theory, you would be happy that they lost.
I was kind of happy that Texas, who they won the regular season baseball title.
Who cares?
I know, but I didn't want them to win the
Well, you're good now.
Yeah, so Tennessee knocked them off in extra innings. Hell of a game. Really fun game. But damn, Texas, how about great showing in football.
Yeah.
They won baseball regular season. They were ranked number 1 a long time, and
basketball was okay.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's their one bugaboo sport.
They won some games.
They can't get basketball right, but they've hit the ground running a lot quicker than Oklahoma has, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt.
In the SEC. All right, that kind of sets us up. Let's come back. We'll take a look around Major League Baseball, a lot of other stuff. NBA playoffs this date in sports history. A lot of fun stuff to get to here as we're kind of winding down, having a fun holiday Friday going into Memorial Day weekend. There's a rumor there's this auto race that used to be really popular. Casey, are you old enough to remember when Memorial Day weekend, that Sunday, man, the Indy 500 was a big deal.
Sure.
It was a big deal. There wasn't a lot of sports on. It'd come on Sunday, like late afternoon, and go to dusk almost. It was a big deal. I think they're running that this weekend. I don't know. Is the Indy 500 still a thing?
I believe it is.
I guess it is. 13-4 North Carolina lacrosse, just putting it on Florida with they're in the third quarter, third period, whatever the hell it is. Let's come back, recap everything, talk some Major League Baseball on the other side.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Florida State, quick update from Tallahassee, Super Regional Softball. Florida State has currently a runner on third base, 2 out. The Noles trailing Texas Tech 1-0, top of the 5th. Remember, Florida State is the visiting team. This is game 2, so the Noles trying to punch across the tying run here. 2 out, runner on third base. Florida State trailing Texas Tech 1-0. If Texas Tech wins, they move on to the College Softball World Series. Florida State, if they don't win to force a game tomorrow, a final game tomorrow, boy, it'd be a real disappointing pill to swallow for Florida State softball as they came in 5th seeded overall, Texas Tech 12 overall, and Florida State hosting in Tallahassee. We'll track that game. Let's talk a little basketball real quick. If you got a basketball player in your life, no matter what level they're at or what level they want to get to, you want to hear about this. It's basketball summer camp season. Boy, you can't find a better basketball camp in our area than the Jacksonville Basketball Academy, owned and operated for years by one of, if not the best basketball coach in our area, Jim Martin, over at Providence. He's run this camp and academy for a very, very long time. Multiple camps, 9 weeks of camps. They get started next week, different levels. You can have a basketball player, a youngster as young as third grade-ish, all the way through high school, and different levels. Maybe you're just trying to get your basketball player, the player in your life, their goal is to make their little league team, their park team, their junior high school team. They're ready for tryouts. They want to get ready for tryouts. Maybe you've got a real accomplished basketball player that's already made and plays on the junior high or the high school team, and they want to elevate their game. They're thinking college. Well, no matter where your level is for your basketball player, they've got a level for you. They'll improve shooting, ball handling, teamwork, understanding the game, footwork. They cover it all in a fun atmosphere. The Jacksonville Basketball Academy. Check them out online, jacksonvillebasketballacademy.com. There you can find all the dates, how to get signed up, reserve your spot. They will go fast. This camp has been around a long time, and it is well respected. It's summer camp season. If you've got a basketball player in your life, check out jacksonvillebasketballacademy.com. There you have it. Casey, we need a rally over there in Tallahassee. Let's see what we can
That's what I hear.
Update. Still 2 outs. Runner on third. Yeah, Kennedy, the star pitcher. By the way, the star pitcher and player for Texas Tech, a transfer from Stanford. So this girl, really good player. I remember her from last year. She went to 1, maybe 2 softball College World Series with Stanford and has transferred to Texas Tech. Texas Tech pretty good. They're ranked 12th overall national seed, 49-12. FSU, the 5th national seed, sitting at 49-11. Yeah, this would be an upset. This would be a big upset for the Noles. They need to rally. And, if you get this thing to tomorrow, then it's a coin flip. You lose the first game in a best 2 out of 3, and everybody, oh, my God, you got to win 2 in a row. Well, really, you got to win 1, right? You get to that third, and isn't it kind of, wouldn't you say, Casey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, okay, well.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, we're both in the same.
You just got to get there.
The same spot. Women's softball fast pitch is a little different in that just anatomically, the way you pitch a softball, in baseball, you want a star. You want an ace, and you're going to ride that guy. But he's much more limited with regard to workload. This girl could theoretically throw today, and if needed, throw tomorrow for Texas Tech if they have to play.
Definitely.
Now, the weather and conditions may wear you down, and you may lose fastball velocity or control, but the actual anatomical swing of the arm and the shoulder that doesn't take them out. Casey, they can throw 300 pitches on a weekend.
They need you.
Yeah, we need you. Drag out there to the mound. So
we need you. I don't care if you threw 600 pitches yesterday. Let's get
you got a left arm. You can brush your teeth the rest of your life with your left arm, right?
We need you.
Right? You can figure out how to tie your shoe with one hand, right? We need you. Come on.
One loop under the other, I think is how it goes.
Yeah, don't be so selfish. Florida, speaking of women's softball, Gators game 1 of their Super Regional hosting the Georgia Bulldogs, all SEC there. Florida won 6-1. Rothrock, the ace for the Gators, threw a 2-hitter. Georgia didn't get a hit until like the 5th inning, maybe the 6th inning. It was very late in the game. Florida hit a 3-run homer. Reagan Walsh hit a 3-run homer early. They hit one early in the game, went up 3-0, hit another 2-run homer, went up 5-1, and really cruised, did the Gators. Big crowd in Gainesville. 11 a.m. start today. 11 a.m. start tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, that'll be 11 a.m. on the big boy, the big channel, the mothership, ESPN. And JU won baseball today. Dolphins stay alive. They still would have to win 3 games in 2 days to win the A-Sun to get to the baseball regional. JU is alive. They will play the early game tomorrow, hopefully win that first game tomorrow, come back late in the afternoon, play a second game tomorrow. If they can win a doubleheader tomorrow, hey, what the hell? We just said it, Casey. Roll the balls out on Sunday. Winner take all. But, man, that's tough. That is tough. Casey, you probably in your baseball career played tournaments. I know I did a lot of tournaments, man. It is brutal trying to do that. If you lose early in a double elimination, first or second game, and you've got to win 2 to get 2 on one day to get to the final on the next day, that is brutal to do.
It is not fun.
And, the way baseball falls, college baseball in particular, it's hotter than hell, right? It's hotter than hell all over the country right now. Mm-hmm. So you're on that diamond, and oh, my God. And that other team, and to the victors go the spoils. If you win the winner's bracket half, you're supposed to, be eating ice cream, sitting in the stands, right?
Without a doubt.
Watching these games.
You earned it.
Yeah, these guys play. SEC baseball just underway. We'll track there are only 2 games today in SEC baseball. Obviously, Georgia's out of it. Florida's out of it. Ole Miss is taking on Arkansas right now. We'll try to track a score there. That was a 4 o'clock pitch. Tonight, only 2 games now as teams are getting sent home in Hoover. Texas A&M, kind of the story right now in the SEC. A&M taking on LSU. So 2 games today, semifinals tomorrow, finals on Sunday. Really the big story is Texas A&M.
By the way, I have it at Ole Miss up 5-1 in the second.
5-1 on Arkansas. How about that? Ole Miss playing good ball. I don't know, Casey, it was a late start. You probably didn't. Did you see much of the Ole Miss-Florida game a couple nights ago?
Just a little bit.
Weird game. It was a weird game. They started at 9:15 local time, 10:15 Eastern. And it was well pitched. Both teams threw their ace, and Peterson went 4 and a third. The Ole Miss guy went even further. He was even better than lefty. Well-pitched game, but a sloppy game. Both teams kicked it around. Ole Miss won 3-1. It was a weird game, though. It was almost, I don't want to say Florida mailed it in. It was just weird. I don't know. Gators go 1-1. Casey, I hope I'm wrong, and I think selection show for baseball is Monday. Mm-hmm. I think it's Monday at noon. I think Florida is going to come up 1 win short of hosting a regional.
I'd agree.
I just think they needed one more game. Now, with that said, I had thought if they sneak into the regionals, they would get sent to Tallahassee. I don't believe that anymore. And the reason is, I was saying that a couple weeks ago, if they sneak in, the committee and the NCAA does try to keep you sort of close because they pay for travel, and that is a factor. Mm-hmm. They pay for all travel. But as hot as Florida has gotten, and as high as I think, keep in mind, FSU's getting us a regional. We know that. They are going to be, I think on Sunday, the NCAA baseball committee will announce their top 8. They won't announce the field till Monday, but they'll come out and say, here are the top 8. If these 8, obviously they're going to get half the regionals. The top 8 teams, they're all going to host a regional. If any of those 8 win their regional, they automatically will host a super regional. So that's why they announced those 8.
Sure.
You with me?
I'm with you.
I think FSU is going to be seated high enough when the top 8 come out. They'll probably be in that 2, 3, 4 range. I think the committee also, when they start putting fields with regionals, I think Florida will be looked at too good to punish FSU with too high of a 2 seed. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
It'd be fun, though.
Yeah. Oh, it would be. I would like Florida to go to Tallahassee. As a Gator fan, nothing against FSU, and that's a tough place to play.
They're pretty good.
Florida's won 2 out of 3 this year, and Gator Nation will show up in Tallahassee. Florida will play if they last 2 games even, there'll be 2,000 or 3,000 Gator fans of the 6 or 7. That's 2 reasons. Now, I think Florida will come up short. I hope I'm wrong. and they will host, but I think they'll come up short. I think they'll get sent to either Atlanta for Georgia Tech's regional or Chapel Hill for North Carolina. I just think they will protect that. Go, wait a minute. If you've earned a 3 overall seed, you don't deserve to get a really red-hot team as your number 2.
Makes sense.
I think that's what will happen. Looks like FSU left the runner stranded.
They did, yeah. She flew out to left field.
Yeah. FSU. So we move to the bottom of the 4th. Super Regional Softball in Tallahassee. Florida State must win to stay alive. They trail Texas Tech 1-0. Bottom of 5th, Texas Tech is the home team. So if you don't know softball real well, Florida State game 2, even though it's their own ballpark, the rules say you're the visiting team game 2. Softball is a scheduled 7-inning game. So FSU will come up in the top of the 6th and the top of the 7th. They got to get moving. Florida State, the Seminoles, 2 hits, 3 errors in this game. Texas Tech, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. So there you have it, tracking all this baseball at the college level. Major League Baseball. Braves. Acuna tonight. You hear?
I heard.
Ronald Acuna back. Boy, he should do this, but he blistered AAA baseball. He went down and was like 5 for 16, couple home runs. So tonight, Ronald Acuna, word is he's called back up on the big club and will start for the Braves. Casey, have you peeked at their schedule now? They've kind of, the Braves the last 2.5 weeks or so, they had the Nationals a couple of times. The schedule was nice. Don't look now. San Diego, homestand for the Braves. At Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Homestand with Boston, who they just went up to Boston a couple weeks ago. Homestand with Arizona.
Not great.
And then they go west, San Francisco.
Not great.
That's rough, man. The schedule heats up for the Braves. Now, the reason a bunch of reasons, and you can throw some of yours in as well. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, those are 3-game series. Maybe one of them may be a 4-game, but those are roughly 15-ish games. That's going to get us within vision of the All-Star break. The Braves don't need to – they're 7.5 back right now, and the schedule's about to heat up the next couple weeks. Casey, I know it's a long season, but the Braves don't need to open up the second half, 11 out. And I know there's wild cards, but are you with me there, man?
Yeah, it's not ideal, and there's not a lot of easy parts on that schedule you just mentioned. The Red Sox, by the way, as we speak, have put up 19 runs on the Orioles today. So the Red Sox will not be an easy game to get. San Francisco is not an easy place to play. Arizona is very good. So, Braves are going to need to
they got to hold it together, man.
I would say even maybe a little more than hold together, figure it out, shock the world, and win some games. Because they are still talented. They just need to, get it done.
How about this? I'm going to propose this just to spice things up in Major League Baseball. Second half, could we have kind of a round robin between, and we'll just have to pull these 4 franchises off everybody's schedule.
Okay.
I just want a round robin between the White Sox, the Rockies, the Athletics, and the Orioles.
Ooh.
Can we just have those?
It'd be a tough ticket to sell. I'll put it that way.
About the only way some of these teams get a win, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's about. Listen, the Orioles are the biggest disappointment in the sport. That's supposed to be a good team.
Yeah, we were going over they've got a nice batting lineup. I mean, they got 3 or 4 big time.
They're just not producing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a mess. They can't pitch. I mean, they really can't pitch. Like, they could use us potentially and do better. I mean, it's not good in Baltimore right now.
The perfunctory press release interview comes out of Pittsburgh around the Pirates. The general manager, no. Paul Skeens is on the trade bait block.
I heard this, yeah.
Is that just talk? Is that a way of positioning, or what? What the hell do you do if the Pirates? Even if you trade Skeens for a couple of prospects, what does that say to your fan base? What and are you going to open up the wallet, though? If you just get rid of Skeens and get a couple prospects, you're still going to stink. You're going to have a couple prospects, but, right? I mean.
I'd move him.
Yeah. But move him and commit. Not move him and never. What was that stat we hadn't covered? The Pirates have never had a team payroll over $100 million.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But if you move Skeens, you gotta have something else to fire up your fan base. Okay, and we're going to spend money. We're going to go get a free agent or two that can make a difference. We're not just going to get rid of Skeens, and then you don't get to go to the ballpark to see him every 5 days.
Nah, it'd be a tough ticket to sell.
Skeens, he would command a handsome bounty, wouldn't he?
Huge, massive.
Oh my goodness! Great.
6 or 7 players in return.
And I know you can't answer this, but you've got a theory. The GM came out and he was at it. No. Does no mean yes? But you say it no because you know you're going to be at the bargaining table when somebody goes, "Hey, I know you said no, but this is Joe Smith from the Yankees or the Mets or the Braves or the whoever's."
Yeah, I mean, listen, it would be, I think, somewhat difficult to find a playoff team. Like, I'm trying to think of one quickly, but I just can't. Like, okay, Seattle has a lot of pitching, but just, if you will, they're a playoff team, and they have a lot of movable prospects.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a team that if Seattle called, if I'm, his name escapes me, but if I'm the GM of the Pirates, I'm like, all right, let's have this conversation because there's not a lot of farm systems like with the good teams. Like if the Yankees call, they don't have enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And because if you're not going to move them, wink, wink, but you would move them.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
I need 5 of your top 10 prospects.
Yeah.
And I will not move off of that.
Yeah. And probably one of your starting pitchers too.
Yeah, I need a couple of humans that can play now.
Yes.
And I need 5 of your top 10 prospects.
And literally, you've got to have that. Mm-hmm. You've got to have that.
And that's a heavy price to pay for somebody.
Heavy lift.
So I assume he probably doesn't get moved right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone would actually go that far. Because, again, the one thing about trading for a pitcher is he could go out there and throw out his arm.
Yeah.
And he only pitches one every 5 days. You're not going to win the World Series by winning 1 of 4 games.
Yeah, that is a great point, man. That is a great point. He's not hitting you, a home run 3 of 6 games next week.
It would be shocking if he did.
Yeah, it would be. Wow, I hate to even report this, but not that making the Final Four in lacrosse, women's lacrosse, is not a big deal. It is good for Florida. They are getting undressed now on the lacrosse field. 19-4, North Carolina, end of third. So they've got one final period to go. They just started the fourth. Florida led after 1, 4-2.
They thought they had it.
Help me with the math there. 4-2, 19-4.
That is 17 unanswered.
Woo! So North Carolina is in women's lacrosse will be moving on. They'll take a 5:30 second game. Northwestern Boston College. It looks like North Carolina will try to add another lacrosse title. Boy, they're good in women's lacrosse and soccer.
Apparently.
They really are. 19-4. Boy, that's a tough one for Florida. And the Gators are one. The Gators were the Big 12 lacrosse champions. Did you know that?
The Big 12 lacrosse.
The University of Florida women's lacrosse program this year proudly has hoisted the Big 12 championship. Nobody else plays lacrosse in the SEC.
Gotcha.
So Florida plays in like the Big 12. Florida used to play in whatever in JU, and Florida used to be in the same conference, and it wasn't the ASUN because not enough women's programs, right? So there are only a couple. Florida may be the only women's lacrosse program. So, yeah, they don't have a conference. The SEC does not sponsor women's lacrosse.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Good for them.
There are several sports you'd have to think about this. The SEC does not have men's soccer. You ever think about that?
I've never thought about that once.
You see soccer and women's soccer, and North Carolina's good. Hell, Florida's won a national title in soccer. The SEC has club soccer. They don't play men's soccer. The SEC doesn't play men's volleyball.
I knew that.
The SEC.
That's a shame because that was.
Yeah.
I can't explain to you how I would have been the best of all time.
Explain, please.
Oh, dude, I was volleyball menace.
Really?
Played in middle school. Yeah, this is real. I'm tall. Played in middle school.
Yeah.
Played a little bit in high school.
Yeah.
It was a menace.
Where was your middle school? Where was school at?
In this place called Palmetto, Florida, but more to kind of aerate it would be in the Sarasota area.
I gotcha. But, volleyball, Florida, sunshine, beach volleyball, indoor volleyball. Yeah, the SEC, everything about that, doesn't do men's volleyball. The SEC doesn't have, in this sport, is pretty big in other parts of the country, weightlifting.
Huh.
Wrestling, men's wrestling.
I never thought about any of these things.
The SEC doesn't have men's or women's wrestling, but men's wrestling. And Casey, if you really, I know this is a little history lesson, if you peel the onion back,
I'm learning.
There's a really, really lucid explanation for all this, and it's called Title IX.
Oh, sure.
Title IX, and this is not the show to do this. We've got a few minutes before the top of the hour. We can get into it another time, but Title IX. 1971, 72, obviously it comes down. If you want federal funding, the government said you have to provide the same amount of opportunities for males as females. And we get that Title IX. On the surface, that sounds wonderful. The issue, and I'll fight till I go to the grave, and I have a daughter that was a cheerleader. I only have one child. I have a daughter. I'm pro-female. Okay. The problem with Title IX, on the surface, it's a great idea. The implementation of it is the issue. And the concept is, and that's why, if you look back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, there was probably, there was SEC men's soccer and weightlifting and volley, these sports were around a lot of places. They got eliminated because Title IX, when it came in, said you have to have the same amount of sports, male, female, or
less, right?
Female more.
Yep.
Female could be more, but you have to have. So the concept, everybody thought, okay, 1969, just pull Florida. I'm just throwing numbers, okay? Don't quote me, just throwing numbers. Okay, 1969, without Title IX, the University of Florida athletic program, scholarship athletic programs, they might have had 11 men's sports, and women had 4. Right?
Sure.
So the concept, okay, Title IX, if you want federal funding, you have to follow this, right? That's the arm twist. And the federal funding you get every year is a massive check. A massive, massive check these state schools get to help budget. So the concept, 11-4, difference of 7. All right, just go add 7. No. No. They didn't just go add 7 women, 7, 4, 11. 11 is equal to 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said, how about this? Let's whack 4 men's sports and add 2, right? And add 3, right?
Yeah.
So you added Title IX, wonderful concept. You added a bunch of scholarship female athletes, but on the backside, you whacked a bunch of male. So did you get anywhere?
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
So, yeah, that's the problem. Am I pro? I understand the concept of Title IX. There's just a tough, nobody can figure out how to implement it fairly. By whacking 4 sports from the men's side and adding 3, did you really do anything for humanity?
I guess we'll never know.
No. So
I guess we'll never know.
So they have, and that, my friends, is why Casey Kurtz is not an All-American Division I volleyball player.
That is, you're right.
And what a shame.
What a shame.
And what a freaking...
Because it would have been a show.
What a shame. A couple more baseball notes before we get out of this segment. I think Brent Beaird will join us in the second hour. 1 second. Let me see if that's Mr. Beaird reaching out to me as he normally does. I don't know. We'll see. Baseball. Phillies, red hot, winners of 7 in a row, and they're at the Athletics. That's always a bonus. We've won 7 in a row, and you're playing some vagabond team named the Athletics. We talked about Skeens, trade bait. Wouldn't totally surprise me. Maybe not this year, but we'll see. As if things aren't bad enough for the Rockies. Where are they at this weekend? At the Yankees.
They got it.
Ouch.
They're going to win one.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Don't look now, the Dodgers. What's going on with the Dodgers?
Just decent.
Kind of mortal right now. Dodgers at the Mets this weekend. So
that's a good set.
Hey, how about the different teams coming in New York? The Mets are welcoming the LA Dodgers. The Yankees say, hey, welcome. Rockies, you want to stay for about 20 games?
It's true.
So there you have it.
It may get ugly.
Yeah, it could get ugly. Braves tonight, though. They welcome. Who are they playing tonight? Are they San Diego tonight?
Let me check. Yes, it is San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. That's what we said. Braves schedule starts heating up tonight, but they do bring Acuna back. Strider was back. I thought Strider had a decent first start after rehab. So Braves really right. I worry about the Braves here going into the All-Star game. They're 7.5 back. The Mets came back to the pack, but then damn, the Phillies won't lose.
Phillies are good.
Yeah, the Phillies are good. So the Braves really need to. They're 7.5 back going into the. What are we? We're probably 1 month. The All-Star game is, I think, the 15th.
Yeah, it's middle of July.
They'll take a day or two off before. So can we call it a month away? You want to stay. The Braves want to stay within vision of first place, and I get wild cards, but man, there are good teams up and down the National League. Those 3 wild card spots are going to get eat up quick, right?
Definitely. There's a lot of good teams in the NL.
There are. It's a strong National League. All right, 1 down, 1 hour left. Stay with us here. We're kind of going to wrap up, put a bow on a Friday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show as we head into the busy Memorial Day weekend sports calendar. We'll come back with some more scores and hopefully Brent Beaird talking college sports on the other side.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All righty, it is starting to get real serious over in Tallahassee, where the Seminoles are hosting a super regional in softball. The Seminoles lost yesterday to Texas Tech, 3-0, I believe it was. Really, Texas Tech got out, and their ace pitcher kind of cruised. It hit a home run late in that game, so the Noles would need to win today to force a winner-take-all game tomorrow. Florida State right now, they have just ended the 6th inning. They play 7 regulation innings in softball. Florida State trailing Texas Tech 2-0 now. Texas Tech scratched another run across in the 5th. They got 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 5th. Texas Tech, the home team, in game number 2. That's how these tournaments work. So Florida State is down to their final 3 outs. They have to scratch at least 2 runs across heading into the top of the 7th, or this would be a big upset. This would be a big upset in women's college softball. Noles trailing Texas Tech in an elimination game 2-0. They're down to their final 3 outs. We'll track that. Hopefully they can scratch across 2 and get this thing into extras. But, boy, Texas Tech has rolled into Tallahassee. And there was a lot of talk that probably just one of those bad draws for Florida State. They're the 5th seed in softball, national seed. They clearly host a super regional, but, man, you get number 12 Texas Tech with the best pitcher in America rolling in. And, they are fighting for their postseason lives, are the Noles, needing 2 in the top of the 7th. Florida in softball won their game 1 in the super regional that they are hosting. The Gators hosting Georgia. Florida really kind of got ahead early and ran away. I watched almost all that game today. 6-1 Gators win today. They'll play again tomorrow against Georgia at 11 a.m. on ESPN. So if the Gators can get 1 more, they will move on to Oklahoma City. The softball tournament is a week or so ahead of the baseball tournament. So there's some softball. We hope to hear from Brent Beaird here momentarily. Baseball, JU won earlier today. The Dolphins would have to win 2 tomorrow in baseball to force a winner-take-all game one game on Sunday. Long way to go for JU, but they are, 2-1 in their ASUN tournament. So JU, a long way to go, but they're still playing. SEC baseball, Ole Miss was ahead comfortably over Arkansas in the 4 o'clock game out in Hoover. Tonight, the night game, A&M, the story of the tournament right now. They're trying to win. Boy, if A&M can win 2 more games, they might sneak their butt into the tournament. If they win it, obviously, they get the automatic. But A&M tonight takes on LSU. And then those teams that are playing today would still have a lot of work to do to win it all. As by the way, Tennessee had probably the win of the tournament yesterday over Texas. Fun game, Tennessee and Texas. We've talked a lot of college baseball, college softball. Wrapping up, and I guess this will probably be the last score we need to give. Let me hit refresh real quick. And it's a little bittersweet. Sweet because the Florida women's lacrosse team has made the Final Four. The bitter part of the bittersweet is 5 minutes left in the game, in the match, and North Carolina has just absolutely blitzed the Florida Gators. North Carolina in women's lacrosse now leads their semifinal match 20-4. After they play 4 periods in lacrosse. 4-1 Gators after 1. Florida has not scored, and North Carolina's put 18 on the board since trailing 4-2. Casey, what the hell happened?
Not good.
Florida's box score 1, 2, 3, 4 as we got 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left. 4-0-0-0.
That's bad.
North Carolina 2-10-7-1.
So really, if you just take out the 10 in the second,
Yeah.
you're still losing, but at least it's respectable.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
We talked about Florida. Maybe there's one other lacrosse. I can't remember. Florida's one of the only women's lacrosse programs in the SEC. That's why they don't play in the SEC. They don't have a conference. And that happens a lot across the country. But when Florida dove into lacrosse, must be nice to be a big school. When they dove in, they've only been around about 15 years or so. When they dove in, they immediately built a $20 million lacrosse stadium.
Oh.
Yeah, just said, let's get in it and they've been good from the jump, obviously.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah, hey, you're gonna get in it, go all the way, right?
Go all the way.
You ever met? I'm not gonna disparage the game. It's still a wacky game to me, lacrosse.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Running around, carrying the ball and a stick and throwing it, and it can go behind. It's like Canadian football behind the goal.
I learned this, yeah.
Yeah, you can go, and then it goes out of I don't know. It's kind of wacky to me.
No, it's very goofy. Yeah, we we were proud of the production we did on our lacrosse tournament we did here on the network.
Yeah.
But collectively, none of us had any clue what the rules were.
Yeah, pretty much. We're all learning as we go. It's almost like no one really knows how or what the setup is for the ACC baseball tournament.
It's one and the same.
I already looked at it. During a break, I need to ask ChatGPT. Can you kind of give me a summation of how the 3-pool play ABC pool works in the ACC? Because don't quote me on this, Casey. I've followed this for a bunch of years now and can never figure it out. I think, don't quote me on this,
okay.
I think in ACC baseball pool play, you could actually lose 2 games, go home, and still win the tournament.
That could be.
It's some kind of deal, Casey, where there's not really a bracket. You're plugged in to play where you play and when you play. It's just, and I don't know. I don't know why they do it.
Maybe this is why the ACC is struggling.
Maybe.
Could be that.
Maybe. Anything new? I know we spent a lot of time on it yesterday, and we should have. Anything new on Matt Driscoll? Did you happen to see a press conference? How did he hold up? And talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. The press conference was this morning at 10. We had it here on the network. And Coach Driscoll, before taking
And tell people why we're talking about this. Tell people why.
Coach Driscoll from the University of North Florida resigned after 16 seasons as the head coach and is going to take a job with Kansas State.
How about that?
So had his press conference today, him and Nick Murrow, the athletic director of the University of North Florida. And Coach basically started off the press conference with, I got a couple of things to say, and then I'll take some questions, and then proceed to talk for an hour and 3 minutes straight.
That is totally Matt Driscoll, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's kind of exactly what everybody expected. But, it was it was exactly what you'd expect from Coach Driscoll. It was passionate. There was definitely some emotion at times.
Tears? Any male tears? Male crying?
Tons and tons.
And you know what? Male crying's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Every day I get older, I tear up easier.
Oh, yeah.
Have you hit that point in your life as a guy?
Yes.
It'll happen?
It does. I trace it back to, I'm pretty sure I had no emotion for 20-something years.
Absolutely.
But then we got a dog.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it, yeah. Yeah, I ain't a crying, I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man, I'm crying, damn it. I just cut my finger off. I'm not crying.
And now it has happened from time to time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Man, it was really quality stuff. Again, we've got it. We streamed it, so it will definitely replay on the network a couple of times throughout the summer, without a doubt. But yeah, it was a good day today.
Associate head coach at Kansas State, which is a nice. That's a big time basketball program.
He's very excited to go, by the way. Talked about that.
And I'm sure he is. He's buddies with Jerome Tang, the head coach. The spot opened up. I'll tell you one thing. The thought of Matt Driscoll, the guy we know from around here, we've known him a long time. The thought of Matt Driscoll, and I'm assuming he's going to be one of, if not the lead recruiter there.
Probably.
With his Matt Driscoll recruiting with a bunch of money.
Could go well.
That could go well.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
Definitely. Without a doubt, he talked about some recruiting stories today that didn't have anything to do with money. So imagine what it'll look like when they do have an NIL budget, which Kansas State does.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
It'll be something to follow this college basketball season, which I never would have cared at all about Kansas State before 2 days ago. But now I am hoping that they win some games.
I hope I'm not asking a question you don't know the answer to. But, UNF, obviously, much like JU, ASUN, not a Power 4 conference. Mm-hmm. And they, basketball in particular, plays a lot of what are called money games.
Yep.
Where they go play 2 or 3 every year, big schools with a guaranteed payout that helps the entire athletic budget. Mm-hmm. Money games over the years, did Coach Driscoll and UNF ever play Kansas State? Do you know? Did that ever come up? I wonder if that was one of their money games.
It did not. That did not come up today, although there was a bit of a conversation with Nick Murrow as a joke. He said, hey, could we get our last money game spot against you guys this year?
Nice.
Because UNF has 1 spot left. And, Coach Driscoll did talk about that. They will play Florida, which is not a surprise. They will play Miami. They will play Gonzaga. They will play Tennessee. So that did come out earlier today. But if they haven't, I would imagine they probably will in the next couple of years with Coach Driscoll over
and
there.
Coach, I think, is 60. Is that right? Does that sound right?
A little bit older.
A little bit older. But whatever the actual number is, it's how they say it's a young 60. It's a young 50. Mm-hmm. He's definitely a young whatever the chronological number is.
Oh, definitely. And listen, always has the energy. There was a small debacle today because when the press conference fired up, I was back here, and Marcel and Brent were over there.
Right.
Brent was just sitting and watching, and Marcel was working, per usual. And I sent a text in the group chat. I'm like, hey, I think we have an audio issue. Like, can we turn it down? Do we have control of that? And Marcel's like, let me work on it. And he worked on it. Nothing could really be done. I said, all right, well, no one's going to complain they didn't hear it. And I said, it's just coming in way too hot. Well, after Coach Driscoll stopped talking and Nick Murrow started talking, I sent a text and said, hey, we don't have an audio issue. Coach was just screaming, per the usual. Coach is just very loud. So that's no matter what the age is, I assume Coach is always going to be that passionate about everything that he does, and that's what makes him him.
So definitely with Coach Driscoll, if he was in concert, he would never want Spinal Tap to set his audio levels because they take it to 11, right?
Go
to 11.
I think
he doesn't need 11, does he?
He don't need 11.
He doesn't need
11. He barely needs a microphone.
Oh, boy. So all's well. I should. By the way, final score from Tallahassee. Florida State's softball season is over. They did scratch 1 run across, but that wasn't enough. Texas Tech comes in, takes the first 2 games, and wins the Tallahassee Super Regional in softball. Florida State, disappointing. Boy, they ran into a buzzsaw, though. This pitcher for Texas Tech is really good. Tough way to end it for the women's softball team over in Tallahassee at Florida State. Gosh, I had something about shame on me. I should have answered my own query from yesterday. I'm not even sure who the basketball coach before Matt Driscoll was at UNF. I don't think Driscoll started basketball, did he?
Mm-mm.
Gosh, that speaks volumes. I would
16 seasons in a row.
Yeah, how about that?
Driscoll
16 years. He's now leaving UNF. They've bumped up an assistant, right?
Yes.
They're bumping an assistant on the staff to take over. But yeah, sad, bittersweet. Definitely bittersweet that Matt Driscoll. Be interesting to see. And UNF, I think, obviously basketball is the dominant sport at UNF. Right, I mean, they've made the NCAA tournament. That's their big sport. That's their one sport. I mean, they put 3,000-4,000 into their arena, 5,000 at times. That athletic director is relatively new in that spot, right? Lee Moon took off a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Nick is 3 to 4 years in. I forget exactly, but he
big hire for him and big decision to boost up. But yeah,
a lot of big decisions. But Nick has been has been really good over there. Brent's had him on a lot. We had him on a lot during the radio times. He's done a lot. And Coach Driscoll said today he gets it. He understands what. And
he was a boost up, was it? Wasn't he? Yeah, he was with Lee Moon.
Yep, he was on the staff for a while. So, Nick's a good dude. I like him, and I think UNF athletically is definitely in good hands with him.
Yeah, definitely. It would be neat if UNF took the court November of this coming year basketball and their first game, and it could happen because money games happen early. It was at Kansas State.
Never know.
That'd be cool. But it is a sad day. He, Coach Driscoll, a really good ambassador, and he liked this area. I'm not sure where he's from originally, but he fell in love with Jacksonville, like a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
He really liked it. He really liked it. Knew basketball. Has one NCAA tournament appearance as the coach at UNF, and fun style too, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he is modern day basketball. What did we say last year when they had Chaz Lanier, who went to Tennessee this year? They led the nation in 3-point shooting.
They did.
And
that's what they do.
I've always subscribed to, if I was coaching a smaller level, no disrespect at JU, UNF, I would do something different. I think I would. If I was coaching, I agree with what Navy and Army football do. They do something different. They run the option.
Mm-hmm.
If I was coaching a smaller program and I did play some bigger, I would probably do 40 minutes of hell, 94 feet up and down, jack it up. I'd probably do that.
You got to.
Yeah. They've been fun to watch, and gosh, he's had some. They had a year. Was it last year or this year? They hit like 23 pointers in a game.
Oh, they do that. That is the thing they do.
Take 50 and hit 20.
They sometimes win big, and they occasionally lose big when they can't get one to go down. That's just the style.
Defense optional.
It's funny. Driscoll talked about it today. He actually was brought in to be the coach at UNF because he was a defensive guy.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where he came from? I know he was like Baylor. Yeah, he was Baylor guy. And he had a resume of 2 or 3 stops before UNF. Yeah, it'd be a tough replacement. Whoever replaced him, the assistant that takes over, Matt Driscoll he laid a blueprint. There's a lot to do on the court. There's a lot to do off the court.
Mm-hmm.
He did both. He did both real well. All right, let's take a break. Brent Beaird said he just was getting home. I think he's setting his gear up. So let's take a break here about 5:20. Come back, reset everything, get Brent Beaird talking some college and college football, baseball, and basketball, I think, with Brent Beaird on the other side. Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Okay, I don't want to ignore the NBA playoffs. We got a game tonight. You've got the Knicks in what I think, Casey, must win for the Knicks. It almost feels like the way they lost the other night, they're down 2-0 instead of 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers have been rolling people, so it feels like you need to get this one for sure.
Yeah, it's and this is in New York, right? Second game at Madison Square Garden. What a wacky ending to that game the other night. But
it was a bad loss.
That almost, like I said, felt like they're down 2-0, even though they're down.
I mean, it's basically how they beat Boston the first couple of times in the other series, so now they know what it feels like.
How about that? And then Minnesota in the other NBA conference semifinal, they're Minnesota down 0-2, and boy, that feels like that one's over, doesn't it? OKC.
Yeah, they're in some trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble, and OKC's fun, man. They are fun with SGA and Holmgren and those Chet Holmgren and those guys. But Minnesota, a player away. They still a player away.
Probably.
Yeah, one more good player away. But it really looks like we're steaming towards Oklahoma City and Indiana. Oklahoma City.
That's what it looks like right now.
Indiana.
That would be something.
Yeah, Knicks up against it. We got some topics we'll go over with Brent Beaird when we get on with him. The College Football Playoff Committee finally did something smart with regard to making a decision on seeding and taking away automatic buys from a bunch of the conference champions. I totally agree. For once, I don't always agree with what this committee does, but I think they common sense prevailed. We'll get deep into that. Kind of an ugly situation going on, hopefully, because I never want somebody being assaulted or sexually assaulted, obviously. I hope it's always accusations that aren't true. But, boy, a lot going on with the starting quarterback for BYU, Ratzloff, who's a pretty good player. And BYU is a highly preseason, highly ranked team. Boy, he's been accused of some serious stuff. We'll try and get into that. Casey, did you ever see the Blue Jays first pitch stuff I saw?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Do we have that? Is it a still or is it a video?
No, we got the video.
Can we run this? If you were out there. There
we go.
Check this out. This is the first pitch.
What is happening?
First pitch. They're
Are they grasshoppers?
Yeah, they're crickets.
Crickets.
They're crickets. Now, this was before the. You want another reason? Do you ever need an extra reason to hate Canada? Well, you're watching it. This is the first pitch before the Blue Jays game, like last night.
Hey, that's a strike, though.
Not a bad throw. But
Yeah.
There's some type of a big circus touring Canada.
Okay.
And this thing is what they said, hey, we get to throw the first pitch to drum up interest.
This guy is so confused.
Oh, my God.
Look at him.
Look at this. Look at this. So if you needed even one more reason to hate Canada, is this it? What the hell is this?
This is bad.
How bad does this major league player feel having to do this?
Terrible.
He's got to be the third. It's got to be the bullpen catcher.
I'm hoping.
That's got to be the bullpen.
There's no way you go play baseball after that.
You cannot.
This is just...
And by the way, thank you. Just hurts.
Yeah, not good.
And what do those guys call their house and say, "Hey, Mom, I landed that."
I got the job I was trying to get.
I'm cricket number 4. Check me out tonight.
I mean, I would, I kind of think that's kind of your whole thing, is it not?
I know we've got Brent Beaird on, but let me finish up this this first pitch we just saw. Casey, if I was at that game last night,
sure,
I'm sitting in the stands, and that happened. Mm-hmm. That's the first pitch. I go to a major league game, and the first pitch is a ceremonial. It may be a war veteran. It may be somebody, a performer. A famous if that was the opening pitch, Casey, I would have then gotten up from my seat, gathered my belongings. Mm-hmm. I would have walked to the box office and said, I want my money back.
Yeah.
And I would have left.
I mean,
look at this.
What else are you supposed to do?
It's gotta, hey, that's going to be a good idea. Please tell me we don't have audio. They got to be booing, don't they?
I mean,
you gotta be booing.
You're probably booing, but
I have to lie. The cricket's got a pretty good arm.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it's a strike gives him at least some credit here.
And
that's not bad.
And he's got the wind up. Okay,
this is not good though.
Yeah, the whole look though.
We lose the whole.
Wow, you ever need a reason? One more reason.
Terrible.
As we welcome it. Oh, it's Patrick. PY, did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the first time watching it, I'm like, okay. Please tell me something more, something like really cool. These weird guys are gonna do. Like, are they gonna climb on top of each other, toss somebody in the air and throw? Like, I was waiting for something like that, and to see that Toronto catcher that caught the ball.
Oh,
he had to feel so awkward posing next to those guys.
You talk about
that was so
you
weird.
Talking about drawing the short straw about an hour before that. Oh my God! The only thing that would have made that doable, you think about crickets in your lawn. The only thing that would have made that doable is if a big lawnmower came out.
Lawn.
Yeah, crickets in your maybe a big lawnmower or a big shoe comes and flattens them all. That's the only way.
I hope. Man, I wish Mike Freed heard that, and I hope Brent Beaird hears that as well.
Oh, we'll work it. We'll work it in.
I did hear that.
Oh, Mr. Beaird, did you see that mess, Brent? You need another reason to hate Canada? There it is.
I remember. I took my family a decade. No, Lord, it was a lifetime ago to see the theater of play of Cats.
Oh boy!
And when I first saw that, I thought, "Is that what that is?"
Yeah.
So, oh man.
And guys, the backstory is there's some kind of national circus touring Canada, so they wanted to get a little publicity. And I hope you guys are from the same point as I am here. It's one of those, I can never pronounce it. Cirque du Soleil, whatever. Patrick, I've never been able to pronounce. It's the same pronunciation.
You're out of breath.
I can't pronounce it. Cirque du Soleil. Wait, what? I'm not that fancy. Is it the circus? Is it? Is it Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey? No, I can say that.
No, it's not. Because listen, it was some offshoot of that, or maybe the same thing. Was at the Orange Park Mall just a few months. I'm serious. Just a few months ago in the parking lot.
Oh, God.
For about a week at the Orange Park Mall.
Well, if they were trying to promote come see the circus in the Orange Park Mall, they'd have a drive-by as the first pitch. Oh, did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Hey, one more pronunciation thing. And I think you guys are as non-fancy as me. You probably suffer from this. There's this, it's kind of like finger food, and it's got a word. And I see it on menus, and I want to say I want that charcuterie board thing, but I can't. Nobody can pronounce the word.
Yeah.
Casey, you know what I'm talking about? That charcuterie thing.
You talking about charcuterie?
Charcuterie.
Yes. Charcuterie.
Yes.
Charcuterie.
Do you know how many times in my adult life I have been at a restaurant and I've wanted to order that as my appetizer, as our appetizer, and I can't say it. Nobody can pronounce it.
You can always get away. I hope this isn't naughty, Patrick, but you can always go with cooter board.
Yeah.
And the other one, charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Charcuterie.
I think I've probably said that a few times. And they said, and then they said, sir, that's not on the menu. That's a different place down the street with strobe lights and blinking lights.
There's some interesting
dim.
Oh boy.
There's some interesting things on this segment on Fridays. I can tell you that.
There are. Hey, bad news. Real quick, bad news out of Tallahassee. The softball team in Tallahassee, 2-and-done, man. They hosted Texas Tech, and Texas Tech with that great pitcher.
Girl?
They roughed them up. FSU's done. They hosted and got eliminated in 2 games.
Wow, what a shame.
Yeah, Florida beat Georgia
That
earlier
girl, man.
today. Yeah, she's
so
tough.
good.
She's tough.
Oh man, Rothrock. I watched the game.
She was tough.
She really could have had a perfect game.
Yeah.
It was a tough ground ball that went to the second baseman, and she kind of lost her footing and tried to throw it real quick because she was no hit perfect up until that point. But man, this team and like listening to them after they got knocked out by Ole Miss in the SEC tournament, because you don't know like how do coaches approach having like an elite team like Florida does every year. You would think, all right, maybe we need to take some time off. He said no. He put all his girls back to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. But that was a nice win
for the Super Regional.
Florida knocks
I don't know
off.
what that looks like, but all the girls are committed to that.
Yeah, definitely. And boy, that's they said it today on the broadcast. That's a well-oiled machine that Florida has over there in women's softball. So Florida beats Georgia, game 1. They play tomorrow at 11 a.m. again. It's on the big stage. They play on ESPN tomorrow. The Gators need one more win. FSU knocked out. JU won baseball today. The Dolphins live to see tomorrow. They would have to win two tomorrow and 1 on Sunday. It is tough sledding. Brent, I wanted to lead things off with you. Finally, we don't get to say this very often, but the playoff committee, I think they finally used common sense and got it right. Tell people about the seeding now. There's no more protection by just winning the Boise State Conference and getting a bye. Talk about what they finally did something right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Boise State AD wasn't real happy with this and said, why don't y'all just call this the Boise State rule? That little jab aside, what Terry's talking about, and we've got 2 or 3, 4 really important things we need to hit tonight before we go.
Okay.
But the seeding is one of them. This is just common sense. Pat and Terry, we've talked about this over the last few weeks. They do on Tuesday night, the committee does this must-see TV, and they give us their top 25. Well, that's fine and good.
Yeah.
But why do you go to all that work and then you get basically to the one that really counts, and instead of going with whatever your top 25 is, you've got to rearrange it. Now tell me, both of y'all, does that make any sense whatsoever?
Pat, I'll let you jump in. No, it's really a waste of time if you're not using your standings. And what Brent's saying, Pat, they used the standings, talk about it, but then the actual 4 byes were given to the highest ranked 4 conference champions plus the group of 5. So last year,
I don't think
Boise
Arizona State, what were they, 12?
Yeah.
But
they won their conference title.
Yeah.
And Boise State. So, I mean, you had teams that had to play round 1 like Georgia, right?
Yes.
But Boise State, I don't even care if they went and won the whole college football championship. Their path to their championship was nowhere near the path that Georgia.
Correct.
It's just now. the argument against is, well, I can see it coming. The SEC and the Big Ten, they're going to get 2 of the 4 byes. Well, yeah, they might deserve it. If next year Ohio State finishes 1 in the final poll going into the playoff, and Penn State is 3, Pat, I'm fine with those 2 having. They deserve, I think.
Yeah, they played the hardest schedule in the best 2 divisions, so like it's just really so hard. And what was the thing we were so caught up on, like saying like, oh, they must not really be considering strength of schedule as much of a factor as we think it should.
Yeah, must not. Because, I mean, if you did, no, I'm sorry, Boise State, but man, if I'm Florida, I would love to swap schedules with Boise State and take my chance.
Oh, my gosh.
Say, hey,
are you kidding me?
Hey, if I'm Florida, I would say, okay, hold on. You're telling me if we can carve out 11 wins, maybe have 1 stumble, but if we can go 11-1 on Boise State's schedule, we're going to get in. And Boise State, you better go 10-2 on our schedule. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Well, and they were talking about Indiana in that same vein too. The people were really criticizing their schedule.
Yeah.
Now, let me just read this real quick, and this backs up what Terry and Pat are saying. This is about the straight seeding. The 5 highest ranked conference champions will be guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. But byes will no longer go to the 4 highest rated conference champions like it did the past season in the first edition of the playoffs.
And I'm fine with that too. Hey, even if there was the wackiest of wacky season, Pat and Brent, let's say a wacky season came up and 2 teams playing for the SEC championship in Atlanta are 9-3 versus 9-3, I would be fine if the SEC missed a bye. And I know that's whack, but wouldn't you? I would be fine if that happened out of left field.
Yeah. Well, the seating is just more fair.
Yeah.
Than it is. Now, the other big thing going on is there are a couple of SEC things that we need to get into.
Okay.
Yeah. With that too. Terry, if we need to get a break.
No, we're good. We're going to take it all the way. Let's take it all the way.
Okay. Let's take it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. The SEC.
All gas, no brakes, Pat. All gas, no brakes.
Right. That's right.
Who are you?
Yeah. This is F1. This is an F1 situation, right?
What? Yes.
You know, the
Formula One.
Yeah, the Formula One. That's right. Okay.
I'm ready, Casey. You can throw me on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to see you guys' faces.
All right, we're getting Patrick's pretty. Oh, look at this guy. He's got his tube top on. He's wearing his tube top. What do you got there, Pat? What do you got there?
This is Florida. This is softball, man. It's Florida softball. I'm always representing.
You went down.
I'm always representing for these girls, man.
That's sweet.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Someone has a trim. Correct?
Yeah. So, I got professional, man. The huge beard wasn't doing it. It was a little too messy.
We were Brent, Casey, Brent, and myself. We had a Monday intervention scheduled for you, Patrick, with that whole bushy look that wasn't working for us. It just wasn't working for us.
I am going. The SEC sponsorship summit is in Destin on the Tuesday to Thursday next week. So I do need to make sure I look okay there. I want shoulders with some people.
When you go over there, I want you to get some guests for our show. Set up some guests. Get some numbers. Get some numbers. All right, Brent, you were
get Laura Rutledge on here.
That wouldn't suck. I'd kick both of y'all off. I'd kick both of y'all off.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
A long segment. Fair. I understand that.
And Patrick said that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I do like the look. I can appreciate it that when it's 95 degrees, then in a heavy beard probably doesn't work, correct?
Yeah, definitely. All right, Brent, what do you got?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, Pat's going to be in the middle of the epicenter for college football.
That's nice.
Coming out this week. It starts Tuesday. You've got coaches, you've got ADs, and now this is what's important. The presidents will also be there. When the presidents are there, you get things done because whether we like it or not, The president still, right, Terry?
Yep.
The president still make decisions, whether we like it or not. And there's two things that are going to be humongous. One, obviously, is do they go to 9 conference games? This is going to be debated. TV has let them know, and this has been the holdup, that they're willing to pay the extra money to have another SEC game.
Yeah.
So that will be 9. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. We've talked about this before, but this is going to be discussed too. They're not happy right now with the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
What would spice it up? Well, this is what would spice it up is in order to get in the playoffs, not only would the 2 teams from the SEC championship game go, but they're thinking about having seed 3, seed 4, seed 5, seed 6. Seed 3 would play seed 6. Seed 4 would play seed 5. And the home of the higher seed and the winners of those 2 games would also be guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I want to get both your opinions on this. This is hot stuff here.
2 things.
Big deal.
I've got 2 things. Number 1, Patrick, it looks like you forgot something, and you have to go. Do you need to go?
I'm hoping
oh, no,
that my seat cushion fell off my truck and it went in the back.
Oh no! From your chair? Oh no! Well, go do what you need to do, man.
That would be a blessing.
You go do. Hey, go do what you need to do, because man, that stinks. We'll catch up with you. I'll reach out to you this extended no show Monday, extended holiday, but we'll be in touch. Do what you need to do, man. You could tell Brent. You could tell.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
That's the
you too, brother.
I've lost something. That's the I've lost. Brent, I want to get back as we let Pat go. I want to get back. I literally don't understand what you just explained. I just don't. I don't know what. And I've tried, and I've read this a couple. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Is there going to be an SEC championship game in this proposal? Is it? Does it carry any weight? I don't understand these seeds and all. Please try it again.
Well, the winner of the SEC championship game obviously would be the number 1 seed in the SEC, and they would get the higher seed in the playoffs. Now, here's what's going on. It's kind of like basketball. It's kind of like baseball. When we get to the SEC championship game in baseball and basketball, let's be honest, does it really mean anything? Their concern is the same thing happening to football?
Yeah.
Okay. So for football, if we threw something in here that would be different, we could have what we basically would call a tournament. We're going to have a season-ending tournament. And by doing that, the first 2 seeds...
Now, let me stop you. The tournament you just spoke of, that is before and not part of the college football playoff. There's still going to be a... So you are you saying you could lose in that tournament and still move on to the big...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you could.
Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yes, you could. So what they think. Now, look, I'm not saying this is going to pass. I'm just saying it's out there and it's become a bigger deal.
Boy, it's convoluted, man. Convoluted.
It is. It's convoluted on several ways. But what they're banking on is that people would be crazy about this.
Yeah.
And it would be exciting, and it would be a playoff type situation in order to get into the big playoffs, if that makes sense. And I don't know what they call it.
And teams that already are going to get into the big playoffs in that tournament, the second carrot, if I'm hearing it right, would be if you win, you're going to get a higher seed.
Yeah. Oh, now here's again, your 2 teams going to the SEC championship game are basically seeds 1 and 2. Now you would have here seed 3 or the third team, the 4th team, the 5th team, or the 6th team. And what they're looking at is maybe getting 3 playing 6 at 3's home field, 4 playing 5 at their home field. The winner of those 2 games. Okay, you got me, Terry?
Yeah.
The two teams in the championship game, they're guaranteed to be in the playoffs.
Gotcha.
They're 2 of that 4 that the SEC wants guaranteed. The other 2 would come from these play-in games. Does that make sense?
Yes, but the 2 that are guaranteed that you said, if they're guaranteed the big playoff, why am I going to go balls to the walls to win other than maybe a little better seeding, I guess?
Why
am I not just going to play it like a spring game?
Yeah, I don't think they want it said that way, frankly.
Yes.
So you're on to something there, as you usually are with this. Now, let me throw this at you too. Okay, let's just say, let's just say Florida gets into this. But so you would have, this would be a nice problem to have. But here's where the rubber meets the road. You play 12 games. If you get in a playoff game, that's going to be 13.
Yeah. Ooh.
If you get into the playoffs, your first playoff games, you follow me?
Yeah.
First playoff game is going to be 14.
14, absolutely.
Okay.
You got to win
it. So let's say you win your 14th game. Everybody's excited. Well, at that point, you're going to be playing in game 15.
Woo.
So my point to that is, and you and I have talked about this a few times as of late. Look, personally, from being a college football fan, along with being in the media like you and I are, the more the merrier, as far as that's concerned. But Terry, and you've hit on this, if you're Joe fan, and you bought season tickets, and you virtually had to remortgage your house or refinance it. In order to have season tickets, if you're talking about minimum 2, 3, or more
extra games.
Extra games. I can. So let's just pretend for a minute. I mean, you could take this thing as far as you'd play 12 games and then if you played, let's say two more games, 3 more games, as we said, you're up to 15 games. Terry, look, I love it. You love it too, but I'm just thinking out loud here. How's that going to be received?
Boy, from a financial standpoint, remember now, NFL fans, yes, they buy tickets, and if they want to go, they go and have to buy. They're not asked to chip in NIL money.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You're asking all your fan base, hey, can you help us with NIL? Oh, by the way, those season tickets we asked you to help for the last 100 years? Those are about 12. We need some help with probably 3 or 4 more additional games. Can you help?
Well,
look, God.
Now, you understand ticket prices, but I'm just throwing this out here. Okay, what would a ticket price be for a play-in game? And what would a ticket? Let's say you play 15. What would a ticket price be for play? Now this is a big playoff. For the big playoffs, if you go 2 rounds and 14 and 15, Terry,
is astronomical. It'll be
astronomical. Terry, it'd be minimum. I'm talking about face value here. It'd be minimum what? $200?
Probably more than that. I would. It'd be $250, $300, $400.
Yeah,
$400. Isn't it amazing? We let off this segment by saying, boy, the playoff committee made some commonsensical decisions, it looks like, with this seeding.
Right.
And then everything to get this together, they revert back to, it's like they split the atom. They make this stuff so unbelievably complicated. It's unbelievable. Here, again, if I was the czar of college football, I would simplify it to this. I would have the Big Ten would expand to 24.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC would expand to 24.
Yeah.
Inside each one of those, I would have 4 6-team divisions, and then 4 6-team divisions, and then I would follow the NFL model.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. The NFL, they may not know what they're doing, but they know what they're doing.
now, what we need to be clear that what's going on here is what Terry and I were talking about. Is this happening? And this is going to happen, okay? We're at 12 right now, but we're going to 16. There's not going to be a 14. Nope. We're going straight to 16. So that's folks, that's where this is coming from, and that's what is making it bigger.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, now again, admittedly, you're not playing 10 extra games, but you are going to play some extra games. I mean, but now listen, Terry, they're doing this. We know they're not doing this for Joe Fan. They're doing this. They're doing this for television.
Absolutely.
This is a made for television product. Is what this is going to be.
Brent, we have 5 minutes left. I want to get a couple things out. I think you've got one or two. Number one, some dates to remember with regard to college basketball. Next Wednesday at midnight, you college basketball player, have to decide, are you in or out of the NBA?
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the big names popped this weekend. Why wait till? But next Wednesday midnight is the deadline to either pull your name out if you're an Alex Condon type and go back to college, or stay and hope you get drafted. International players, and there's still a couple big fish out there that colleges are trying to get. They have until June 15th. So Wednesday or June 15th. And Brent, ugly, I hope it's not true. I don't ever want anybody physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, obviously. Boy, this BYU quarterback stuff going on with Ratliff.
It really is.
Jake Ratliff, a real good player. BYU's a highly thought of team. He's been alleged to some sexual assault issues. And it may even, there's an allegement that Salt Lake City police might have covered up. Boy, I hope this thing works out and nobody was assaulted, and it was maybe a misunderstanding. This could get ugly.
Yeah, it really could. That's just so difficult to get with that. And again, when you get down to legalities and a felony and criminal situation, and again, we don't know. To Terry's point, we don't know whenever. I mean, Terry, there's no telling when this would even go before a judge.
Yeah. Man, tough stuff. Brent, if you've got a couple more things, we're kind of wrapping things up here.
Well, let me say this. If people haven't heard this, Athlon is out. Now, it hadn't hit the shelves yet, but Athlon is going to be out by the time we're talking next Wednesday. Well, we will have one. Is when I talked to a guy who writes for Athlon last night.
Okay.
And he texted me back and said, Athlon will be out tomorrow, meaning today. So, but it's not out yet, maybe out this weekend. So keep your eye on that. June 3rd is the first Lindy's, the national magazine. July 4th will be Phil Steele and his magazine. So we've got 3 coming out this year. And Athlon is out basically any moment.
Man, Athlon sounds like it's been cut back so much that one of us
450 words.
Hey, it sounds like, and I'm just kidding here, but one of us out there in our viewing audience, why don't one of you guys buy one and I'll make a few copies of it? Sounds like we can copy it pretty easy, right?
That's pretty good. Yeah. I would almost agree with that. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
As I understand it, also to catch people up, Brent, around some college stuff, unless you've got one or two things. This Sunday, I think the college baseball committee will announce the top 8 national seeds.
They do. Yes.
And then I think Monday at noon is the college baseball field reveal in college baseball. Right. And think about it. People say Monday at noon. Well, that's a holiday.
That's right.
So that changes things. By the way, no show on Monday. We're all going to kind of take the day off. Brent, any other news and notes as we've got a minute left?
Yeah, let me just sum up what's happening. Next week's going to be a really important week for us. Not only do you have the SEC meetings in Destin, but next week we're expected the decisions coming down from Judge Wilkin about House versus Nation. I mean, that may happen today or over the weekend. It's coming down next week. And again, college baseball, and the softball is already started.
Yeah.
The college baseball next week will have regionals.
Yeah.
Help me, Terry. That begin, I think, Thursday.
Yeah, depending on the regional. Yeah.
Yes. So, man alive, for the merry month of May, there's a lot going on next week, brother.
There's a lot of overlap. Major League Baseball's rolling along, playoffs in the NBA. It's a fun time of year. I love it every year. This time of year. I don't think Florida has done quite enough to host a baseball regional.
I agree.
I hope I'm wrong. I think they came up one game short. All right, Brent, enjoy your extended weekend. I know you need some rest as well, and we'll hit it hard next week. A lot of stuff to cover next week.
No doubt, brother. Take care.
That's our main man, Brent Beaird. As we put the landing gear down, let me throw some more scores out in case you haven't heard. You've been stuck working on. I know a lot of people got out of work today. But number one, Gators softball. Florida beat Georgia today 6-1. They lead the Super Regional 1-0. The Gators need one more win. They can get that tomorrow at 11 a.m. Florida-Georgia softball Super Regional game number 2. Florida State disappointing O2 barbecue. They hosted a softball super regional yesterday and today. Florida State swept in 2 games by Texas Tech. It's a pretty big upset. Texas Tech moves on to Oklahoma City. And, of course, Florida State, their season's over. JU baseball won today. Dolphins would need to win 2 tomorrow down in Stetson, and then the championship game on Sunday. It's a lot of work, but you can't win it unless you're in it. A lot of basketball and baseball all weekend. We'll get back together Tuesday. Talk all about it. Have a great extended weekend, everybody, and we'll see you Tuesday for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV,